Hey everyone, this is Mayur. Welcome back to ML Works. In this video, we'll be discussing how to evaluate summarization tasks using large language models. So, what is summarization? First of all, summarization is nothing but consider you have a very huge paragraph and you want to capture the idea of that whole paragraph in 2 to 3 sentences. Then you do something called as summarization. So here what we'll do is we'll use LLM to evaluate the summarization that has happened, and there are certain factors that you have to look at when you're evaluating. For instance, the correctness of the summarization and the conciseness of the summarization, and also completeness, correctness, and conciseness, like how concise it is. Is it like not too much of unwanted information is there or not? Those things are like considered for evaluating the summarization. So with that, what we'll do is we'll walk through the table of contents. That will get started with the packages installation, and then we'll construct the evaluation data set, and then we'll build the evaluation framework, and then run evaluations. So first thing is you just have to go to Cohere and create your account, get the API key, and install the Cohere SDK to play with the Cohere API endpoints. So let me run this cell. Next, what we do is we import all the relevant packages, and specifically at the last few lines you can see I'm using command or model. Okay, and then I'm also importing the Cohere API key, which is stored in env file using load.env. So let me run that as well. Now comes the dataset part, where you are downloading a dataset from QM processed, and then we are particularly interested in this particular column, meeting transcript. So this will be a conversation between a bunch of folks, and we'll try to summarize that, what they are talking about, and who is speaking what is their idea about the whole conversation. Okay, that is the whole data set. So let us look at one transcript. So here it is PhD D student, sure, because I need, okay, there is a professor in between. If you see, so there is professor line, there is a line, and then is a professor E. Okay, this is a conversation between PhD student. I guess there will be multiple students in this as well. Yeah, there is a graduate student G. There's a PhD student again. So it is it's a conversation between a bunch of students and the professor. Then what we'll do is we just have a raw transcript. Now we'll try to turn that into an evaluation data set. So what is required for evaluating, right? First is on an enterprise use case, what we normally do is consider you have a running a particular organization, you have tickets about complaints from the customer. Now there will be a huge paragraph which is written by the customer, and you want to summarize that, and you want to understand what exactly the problem is. So you can summarize in such a context. So you have to understand specific context or specific objective of that particular whole paragraph. Okay, that is one of the thing that we look for summarization. Okay, and another thing is when you are trying to summarize, you want to have it in a specific format. For example, you can turn that summary into a couple of sentences, or it could be in around 20 words or 30 words, or it could be bullet points of 10 words. So all those things could be part of your evaluation part. Okay, how you want to evaluate your summarization model, right? Summarization result, I mean. Next is the most important part is here comes the prompt instruction modifier. So prompt is nothing but the text that you are passing, that is your transcript, plus the instruction. The instruction is nothing but what you want to summarize from this particular text that you are passing. Okay, and the instruction could be of what is your objective, and also modifiers. Modifiers is nothing but, again, if you see in the third line, it is the length of the particular summary, or what type the particular summary should look like. Either it is in bullet points or it is in paragraph. Do you want to mention the names of the organization or the people present in that particular paragraph? All those things, those could be part of your modifiers. So these three key points: prompt is based on instruction, instruction is also based on modifiers. Now this is our prompt template, where we have first transcript and then instruction. As said in the first point, prompt is equal to text plus instruction. So we have those two here. Let me run this cell. Next, we build the instructions. Because each instruction may have different objectives and modifiers, we track them using metadata. Okay, so yeah, that is there. So here you can see the instruction objective. Either you can want general summarization of your whole paragraph. Okay, otherwise you want to pick the action items that needs to be done from the transcript based on the kind of transcript you have. So, so that's what it says mentioned here. Summarize the meeting based on the transcript, or what are the follow-up items based on the meeting transcript. Okay, the action items that needs to be picked from the transcript. So these are two instruction objectives. Okay, and along with that we have modifiers. Now, since this is general summarization, okay, we have general summarization as objective, and the text that we want to give here, and what is the metadata, right? What is the paragraph it should result in? The summarization result should contain 10 to 15 words, and then, or use at least 10 words as it's mentioned here. This is modifier. Okay, this is called as paragraph short, paragraph medium, which will contain 50 to 200 words, and there is bullet short 3. Each bullet should have 10 words, and this will come under objective of general summarization action items. Similarly, we have another modifiers, which is bullet medium 2, which will again, each bullet should contain 20 to 80 words, and the objective is general summarization on the action items. Okay, these are different modifiers you have, and this is instruction objectives. Okay, with that, what we'll do is we'll next move to turn that into metadata as mentioned here. Okay, we track them using metadata. So we'll turn that into metadata here. This metadata will contain instructions, validate metadata, and objective. So once we run this, we're just printing the two of the particular instruction set metadata. Okay, the instruction is summarize the meeting based on the transcript in the paragraph form. Output your response. Use at least 10 words. So this is the evaluation. It is paragraph, and the objective is general summarization. Okay, similarly, we'll have for action items as well, and a different kind of eval metadata will have, and separate instruction for that as well. If you want to note that, I would just run this again. Instruction. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't want to write this because I'll just run this cell. So if you see here, there are other metadata as well. This is for action items. The format is in bullets. Similarly, for others, we'll have paragraph like general summarization. Now we have that. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll turn that into a data set. So first instruction, okay, will be turned into separate columns. Each of this will be a separate column. This one, and this one will be a separate column. And then what we'll do is we'll also add transcript column, and then we'll also add prompt column. Now the transcript column is, if you see here, how we are getting the transcript column is randomly shuffle the top 25% of the transcript by length, and then assign them to the data. Okay, we're just creating 25% of the transcript we are using. That's it. And then we are building the prompt. As I've shown earlier, prompt template where you have instruction and the transcript. As I shown here earlier, if I go back, this is the prompt template. This will be applied on top of transcript. If I go again here, lambda prompt template dot format. So we are applying it on the transcript, and the instruction which we created here. Somewhere here we created the transcript instructions, right? So this will be part of your data set now. So we are applying and we are creating a data dot prompt, and then we are creating data dot transcript. So I'll just pick one of the particular transcript. So this is the first transcript I'm picking, PhD F as opposed to the rest of us PhD D. So again, this is the conversation, and what we are doing is option. Let's also check the token length. So this is just simple looking at the token length of the transcript we are doing here. Now once that is done, okay, what we'll do is build the evaluation framework. Okay, as I talked about, there is on three factors you can evaluate your summary result. Okay, either it is on completeness or correctness and conciseness. So you can check what each of those things mean. Okay, so completeness is includes all the important information. Correctness is it is not hallucinating, or any factual inaccuracy is not present in the summary. Conciseness is not unnecessary information is present inside the summary. So that's what we are evaluating for. Now again comes the key part, which is grading the prompt template. Okay, here what we'll do is you are an AI grader that given a prompt, a completion and a criterion, grades the completion based on the prompt and the criterion. So based on these two, you will be grading your result, that is from the summary result we get. So if I just switch here, below is a prompt, a completion and a criterion which with which to grade the completion. You need to respond according to the criterion instructions. Do not provide an explanation or respond with additional text, only respond with the final score. So we are just passing all this information, okay, how you want to evaluate, and just get a score between 0 to 1. Okay, if it is a very good, if the evaluation metric is 1, okay, it means that the particular evaluation metric is performing well and the summary result is quite good on that particular metric. In this case, that particular metric is nothing but completeness, or it could be correctness or conciseness. Okay, so here we are creating the sentence. What is the criteria for completeness? Okay, what is the criteria for correctness, and what is the criteria for conciseness? Now what we are doing is, next we are passing this. We are creating a function where we are passing the prompt, completion, and also the criteria, and we'll be getting a score in between 0 to 1 after scaling. If you see here, we are scaling it here, that is normalizing, and then we are getting a score between 0 to 1. And this is where we are going to, if you see here, this is the part where you are calling the Cohere model in the backend. So once this is done, we'll get a score. When you run this particular function, you will get a score between 0 and 1, and if the score is 1, it means on specific criteria it is working well. The criteria could be completeness, conciseness, and correctness. In addition, we have two more criteria that are graded programmatically. So we can also check, right, since we have mentioned in the modifiers that it should contain in bullet points, or it should be in paragraph, it should contain 10 to 15 words or 20 to 30 words. So all those criteria could again be evaluated. Okay, for that we have separate functions here. So here if you see is only paragraph, is only bullets. Okay, whatever the summary we get, we are just checking if it is only bullets or paragraph. And we are also checking here if it is bullets or paragraph, what is the length of that particular bullets or paragraph. It's also done here. And next here, if you see, this is the same thing that is getting called. These are the what functions. These are defined here. Is only bullets, is only paragraph. And here we are extracting the markdown bullets. Okay, we are extracting the bullet points and their specific word content is present inside those bullets. So let me run that. Now what we'll do is, now see, there is one thing with respect to Cohere API, right? You cannot make more than 20 calls to this particular endpoint. If you want to use more than 20 if you want to make more than 20 calls, then you want to have an paid version of Cohere API key, then only you can make more than 20 calls per minute. So what I'll do is I'll just run one specific data point and check the corresponding score or with respect to correctness, completeness, and conciseness. So this is the first data point I'm taking. So this is the prompt. Here we are mentioning this is the transcript. Here this is where it is starting the transcript. This is where it ends. And then we have the instruction, summarize the meeting based on the transcript in paragraph form. Output your response, use at least 10 words, at most 50 words. It should be between 10 to 50 words in total. So we are aware of this. Now if I have commented this code, okay, what this will do is it will iterate through a bunch of prompt and it will make calls to the Cohere API. So to avoid that, I'm just commenting it out. I'll just do one call. Okay, so I'll just pass the first prompt. This is data prompt 0. I'm using command or model and getting the completion here. So PhD is transcribing the recorded session to find and label overlapping speech zones. Other team members question the definition of an event, suggesting. So this is the summary result of the above conversation. If I would suggest you read it on your own time, actually. Okay, then it would be easier to understand what is this whole summary is all about. Next, what we do is, as I said, there are like bunch of evaluation metrics that you can evaluate your summary result. Okay, so here is score format. So if I go back, score format. So this is returns one if the completion is in the correct format or zero otherwise. So that's the thing, right? This is so as I mentioned in the prompt instruction, it should be in paragraph form. So this will do tell us if it is in paragraph form or not. So it has given a score of 1. It means that it is in paragraph form. The completion result we got. This completion result what we got here, right? This is in paragraph form. It is not in bullet points. So that's why it has given the score of 1. Next, what we do is we do something called a score length, understanding the min length, max length, and format for the specific data point and the result we got. Okay, so let's see. So even here it has given the perfect one. So the length is in between what is expected. Okay, and also the format. So all those are working well. Even min length is 10. What we got is min length as 10. Now comes the part where you evaluate on completeness. So what we are doing is we are passing our prompt, then completion, and that is the completion is nothing but our summary, and this is the criteria you want to evaluate on completeness criteria. So in this case, the completeness of the summary is 0.8, and for the correctness it is 1. So the summary is quite correct. What it has tried to understand from the conversation, it has correctly identified the summary. We got the correct summary. And then conciseness, how well the summary is concised. Okay, for that we get a score of 0.8. Now I have commented this piece of code. Again, this is for all the prompts that are present. We are just tested out for one prompt here. So you can do the whole thing for all the prompts. For this, you have to again have a paid version of Cohere API. Then only you can do that. And also at the bottom, we can see the score of that particular for all the metrics, right? Length score, format score, completeness score, correctness score, and conciseness score. What is the mean value of all for all the prompts? So this is one way to evaluate your summary result. Okay, on different parameters. I mean, like different parameters in sense like completeness, correctness, conciseness, the length of the summary we got, and the format we got that particular summary in. So these are different ways you can evaluate your summary result. So with that, what I'll do is I'll just conclude this video and see you in the next.